How you doing? How are you doing? Now I gotta cut this in half because this thing just stopped on me. I can't have that. I don't want to do a whole video like that, but it just stopped on me for no reason. Okay, check it out. Y'all got your politicians in paranoid state. Okay, Miss Pelosi, who's a very famous politician, stated Pelosi says, the title is saying, Pelosi says part of the Capitol Hill is security is the enemy within the House of Representatives. That's right. The enemy, I could not agree with him more. The enemy within the House of Representatives. You know who they are? I know who they are. They're called Republicans. Okay, and it's simple as that. Okay, and I mean, I think Republicans been the enemy of the state since the state has begun. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, all I hear is bad things about Republicans. That's all I hear. Okay, all right. The House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, that's her name, told reporters Thursday that she committed to addressing the concerns of the colleagues over security, but said that efforts is hampered because the enemy within the House of Representatives, referring the rhetoric and behavior of some Republican members of Congress. It always comes from the Republicans. Okay, I'm telling you right now, Republicans is against everything constitutional. It has to be, because everything that's passed that's constitutional they don't like. Okay, and that's simple as that. It's ridiculous. Okay, now they're trying to let me see, hamper security of the Congress building. Pelosi was asked about how members are concerned for their own security in the wake of the Capitol attack and violent rhetoric from other members, following a letter more than 30 lawmakers signed asking for more flexibility regarding the use of congressional allowance for personal security in their homes, districts, or other security-related requests. Now they want private security. They want police at their front door. They want police in outside the house, monitoring them, monitor their house, their families, and everything. They got them panicked. Okay, they got lawmakers panicked, and it's not acceptable. Okay, Pelosi also cited a security review currently being conducted by retired Lieutenant General Russell Horner, with whom she met on Thursday to receive an initial assessment. So we want to have a scientific approach to how we protect members, Pelosi said at her weekly review conference. I do believe I have said this all along. We will probably need a supplemental for more security for members when the enemy is within the House of Representatives, a threat that members are concerned about in addition to what is happening. When pressed by reporters about what she meant by the comment, Pelosi said it means that we have members of Congress who want to bring guns on the floor and have threatening violence on other members of Congress. Who ever heard of that? Okay? Pelosi did not clarify which lawmakers she was referencing. U.S. Capitol Police has investigated an incident in which the Republican lawmakers were stopped from bringing a concealed gun onto the House floor last week. Sources told CNN the first time a member of Congress has been discovered with a firearm by the metal detectors now sets up outside the Legislative Chamber. In response to the letters requesting additional resources and flexibility for security, Pelosi said Thursday the concerns in a letter from lawmakers requesting more flexibility for using their congressional allowance has already been addressed. Now, this congressional allowance is to protect individual members of Congress. Okay? You ever have a Republican walking into the door in the chambers of Congress, the Congress building, got caught with a firearm, trying to put it on the floor? Okay? That is not freaking civilized. Not civilized. Okay? Not only that, you had a whole bunch of people raid the Congress building under the orders of former President Trump. Something has to be done about these Republicans. Okay? And should we even have a Republican body? Okay, after that incident. Okay? First of all, I appreciate the letter from the members, but most of the items on the list have already been done. She said perhaps they were not aware, and I take responsibility for them not being aware. Her remarks come after more than 30 House members sent a letter to Pelosi and the Housing Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy on Thursday, requesting more flexibility for using their congressional allowance towards helping their personal safety by hiring local law enforcement or other security personnel for their home district office. Last time I heard about this, and you could put your shoes, you put your feet in my shoes for a second as a black man. Last time I heard about this kind of talk is when the Panthers were being attacked. Okay, can it get that bad? Back in the 70s, 60s. All right, and that's what they're worried about. Okay. While the U.S. Capitol is protected by the United States Capitol Police with the support of strong security measures, include vehicle barricades and metal detectors, most members spend the majority of their time in their congressional districts where security is often sparse, meaning not barely existent. They wrote in a letter, protecting members in their district is much harder because local law enforcement agencies are stretched and limited and often don't have sufficient staffing or money to provide regular protection to members, except for leadership. Memberships do not have security detail. Thursday's letter took issue with existing rules and regarding the rules governing members' allowance use, describing the protocol as constrictive and anachronistic, set in a time before the current. CBS News report the letter. The request is the latest development in a string of reactions to the deadly Capitol riots on January 6th that has taken lawmakers and their staff that as threatened continue to mount against the members of Congress concerning is growing growing about safety of some lawmakers when they travel outside Washington and the security bubble is provided. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that, but I had to put up my security measure. Okay? The request is the latest development in a string of reactions to the deadly Capitol Hill riot on January 6th that has shaken lawmakers and their staff as threats continue to mount against the members of Congress. Concern is growing about the safety of some lawmakers when they travel outside Washington and the security bubble it provides. That's right. That fear is going to make them do weird things. Threatening your lawmakers is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Okay? And it's simple as that. They are thinking about putting freaking gates around the Congress building. Okay? Even I thought about that. And I was a security guard. Even I thought about it. Since since the White House has gates around it, why not the Congress building? Okay? When that incident with the riot happened. That was written by Democratic reps Josh Gothner of New Jersey and Dean Phillips of Minnesota, and addressed it to Pelosi, McCarthy, and the chairwoman and the ranking Republican members of the House of Administration Committee reps Lofton. I mean, is these people Americans? I'm sorry. Of California and Rodney Davis of Illinois. While the list was mostly signed by Democrats, one Republican signed on to the letter, Rep. Fred Upton of Michigan. See? The enemy of the state is Republicans. And that's simple as that. Okay, they go against everything that stands for America. They have a pattern of going through everything, going against everything that's American, and promoting totalitarian stuff like fascism. Maybe they even have. I seen news people talk about what if America was a communist country? It's ridiculous. Okay. This comes from the Committee on the House Administrators sent a letter to members early this month reminding them of various options they have for security-related expenses in the light of the tragic event related to the seditious breach of the Capitol. The January 11th letter circulated to members and reminds them that in their district they can get reimbursed for having security at a district event or outside district offices. The letter instructed members that the House of Sergeant at Arms, Sergeant of Arms, will provide certain security enhancements for district offices, and that a bulletproof vest and security training are also considered reimbursable expenses. You talking about people that care about this country, man. They shouldn't freaking goddamn be putting on bulletproof vests. They shouldn't be having gates by the congressional building. They shouldn't have none of this. Okay? It adds to the cohesiveness of freedom and justice and the American way. It doesn't make no damn sense why these people jump on attacking these politicians and the Capitol building. All these people who jump on the Capitol building and attack these Congress people should be removed from the United States of America. That should be the penalty. And that will stop Yogananda Pittman, the acting chief of the U.S. Capitol Police, on Thursday called for permanent fencing and other enhancement security measures around the Capitol complex. Because what they're doing and what they did was an act of terrorism in its purest form. Okay? In the light of the recent events, I can unequivocally say that the vast improvements to the physical security infrastructure must be made to include permanent fencing and the availability of ready backup forces in close proximity to the Capitol, Pittman said in a statement. Pittman continued, I look forward to working with Congress on identifying the security improvements and necessary to ensure the safety and security of the Congress and the U.S. Capitol. But lawmakers on both sides of the aisle pushed back on the idea of fencing around the Capitol. Democratic Republican Jake Archiclos, a Massachusetts freshman, tweeted that it would be a mistake to turn the home of our democracy into a fortress. Representative Elisa Shifanick, you see what I'm talking about? These names? It's ridiculous. A New York Republican tweet. This is the People's House. Adamantly opposed. There has been no threat briefing given to the members of Congress to justify this proposal. Asking about Pittman's recommendation, Pelosi disputed Chief of Staff Drew Hamill said in a statement that the Speaker looks forward to General Honro's final assessment. In her own statement, after meeting with Honro, Pelosi said his initial assessment covered operational readiness, corporation security, infrastructure, and the moral and the readiness of the institutional staff. As we consider the need for an emergency supplement fund bill to meet institutional security needs, I want to thank the General for reviewing what is necessary for the Capitol Police to do their job, Pelosi said. The acting head of the U.S. Capitol Police told Congress members during a closed-door briefing Tuesday that the department failed to meet its own high standard on January 6 when a crowd of pro-Trump rioters overran the Capitol building. Pittman called the insurrection a terrorist attack. And what do we do to terrorists? We deport them out of the United States and put them in Gitmo. Okay? And well, actually, we put them in Gitmo. We won't put them in the United States because Hawaii is part of the United States. And offered her a sincere apology on behalf of the department, according to her prepared remarks during a briefing for lawmakers on the House of Appropriations Committee with a number of agencies that had a role in security on the 6th. I want to apologize. My thing was going out. I had to get some batteries for it. But that insurrection, that kidnapping of that, I think it was a congressman or mayor, I don't think that's not going to be the end of it. Okay? Whoever these people are should be, when they do with these things, should be photoed, put in jail for a long freaking time. In my opinion, exported out of this country. If people do certain things like this, which is terrorism, all right, they should be exported out of the country because that's a terrorist act. Any invasion of the White House or government buildings is a terrorist act. Okay, and they should be removed from this country. That's a penalty. That's a penalty to ensure that this will never happen. Again, you got your lawmakers fearing for their lives at the same time trying to make your life better. What kind of nonsense is this? It's an oxymoron. How do you do your job? Okay? It's madness in America, man. You got all these people waiting for that little racist, anti-freedom American person, their messiah. These evil people who don't love freedom. If they don't love freedom, maybe they don't belong here. Maybe they need to go. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, let me see. It's about a $1,500 ticket to get them anywhere outside the United States of America. I'll fit the bill. For real. Get them out of here. And at the same time, these people will not do that crap again. I seen a video with a woman, a reporter on World Star. I seen a video when a woman came out of a building hiding her face, and this woman was a part of the insurrection that happened at the Capitol building. She hiding her face, running for dear life. That don't make sense. Shouldn't she be proud? Shouldn't she be talking to the news reporter? Standing up for what she believes in? Does that make more sense than running away? This woman was gone. She was fast. She was just leaving them behind. I could have sworn she was related to Flash or something. She was gone. She was gone in those high heels, hiding her face, running for dear life. So what made you attack the Capitol building if you knew it was wrong? If you knew you didn't believe in it? That's the question everybody should be asking themselves. Did they just do it on a whim? Did they just do it because it was cool? Or did they do it because Trump said so? These people don't believe in what they're saying or doing. Okay? And it's simple as that. And they don't even know why they're doing it. And they know the consequences of doing such a thing, that they'll never be able to have a living again. Do they make sense? No. Are they logical people? No. Are they human beings? No. They're freaking savages. And what savages do, their only instinct is to kill and eat. In this case, with humans, all they instinct to do is to destroy anything good. This is Black Spiritor. Have a nice day.